So we're here in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and we're actually in a suburb, I believe, just outside of Sarajevo. And just down this long lane, I'll call it, is a very beautiful natural park that has a nice kind of like spring area, waterfalls and bridges. I believe there's some waterfall there. I might be incorrect about that, but either way, there's a nice river area, stream type that runs through there. And just as we get a little bit further here, we'll show you there's actually some horse and buggies that you can get to take you all the way the length of the little lane. It's, I think, a couple of kilometers or something, a mile and some change or whatever. But as we go along, we'll get some different views. There's a bunch of Austro-Hungarian homes along this lane that are incredibly beautiful. And we'll get some shots down at the end when we actually get to the park and give you the price. I think it's a couple of KM or something to that effect. Not very expensive, but if you're interested, come along. Quick view of this beautiful little center in this park. Everyone's just out today having a walk. It's such a lovely day. So here's these horses and buggies I was talking about. There's several guys lined up. Probably ask around and get some different deals. When we came the other day, a guy was asking 20 km to take the length of the lane here. And I actually personally thought that was expensive because that's roughly around 10 USD for maybe like a 15-minute ride. And I'm sure you could ask around and get a better deal. A couple of examples of these beautiful homes along this lane. That one says 1892 there. Nice yellow guy here. Look at this lane, it's just so beautiful. There's some really nice benches as you go along here, and you can sit and watch these horses and buggies go by and watch the people go by. We're just hanging out here. It's so green and beautiful. Literally the entire area is just so green. And as you go along this path, you actually head towards the base of this mountain, and there's just some really lovely properties. This is just the most beautiful walk, isn't it?
It's lovely. It's a perfect day. It's so green and everyone's just enjoying themselves.
All right, everyone's out because the last couple of days were kind of cloudy and not so much rainy, but just a bit not as lovely as today, we'll say, huh? Mm-hmm. But look, there's, like I was saying, these little chairs, and oh, I got another carriage coming by here in a second. We'll eventually make it to this park, but we're just kind of really enjoying this time as we go along. All these lovely trees casting some shade down on us, getting closer to the mountain. It's nice and cool in here. It's a very lovely scene. Okay, we made it to the entrance here. What a lovely walk it was. I'm not trying to hype that up. It was incredibly relaxing and beautiful. There's so many benches along the way, so you can just stop and take your time. Got a little sweaty, but like I said, we stopped and relaxed a bit and moved along a bit. But here's the little entry hut, and the price was 2 km. That is roughly 1 USD per person, so it's 2 km per adult. So let's say 1 USD per adult, so we paid $2 to enter into here. And so far we've been in here, what, 20 feet, and just look at this lovely surrounding. Look at this field of flowers popping up here after the spring. Just lovely. We got yellow, white, and purple here, and there seems to be a lot going on there. We'll make our way there, and there's actually this one really lovely bridge with the river or the stream running under it. We'll try to get that, because if you look this place up, you'll find that specific image a lot. But look at all these shade ramadas with picnic tables as you go along. Rachel and I actually packed a little lunch here, so we've got some sandwiches and some waters and some like bread and jam, so we'll find a spot and have a little snack before we head back. But so far, really worth the walk. I don't know if I just covered this, but it was, what, 2 miles, I think? 2-mile walk along from roughly where we started at that bridge to here, 2 miles. So, I mean, it's a very, very nice walk, and certainly nice to get a little exercise. Well, I found a waterfall, so I wasn't incorrect. And this water is just incredibly clear. Not so much here because there's a little bit of rocks, so it's a little broken up, so you can't quite see. But just around the bend there, you could see all the way to the bottom. It was quite lovely. But just over here to my right is the restaurant. I didn't It didn't have the best reviews, kind of hit or miss, I think, but we probably won't be going anyway since we brought some lunch. But look at all these trees are in bloom here. It's so lovely. Let's go walk over on this bridge and look up that way. I bet that water's nice and clear as it funnels down in that waterfall. Well, I wasn't wrong. Look how clear that water is. You can see all the way down to the bottom there. It's probably, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 feet deep right there, I'd guess. I think that's the one bridge that you see online a lot when you look at this place. It's amazing. There's just all these little streams. Look at this little tiny one comes across here. Little ones that run down through there. And here's this waterfall. Whoop! Falling here. Well, I must say, so far there's not a scene that's not beautiful. Look at that. Just up on top of there was that really clear pond that we were standing on the side that actually waterfall down on the left there. And it looks like there's actually another waterfall back there. We'll just kind of head along and get some different beautiful views like I was saying. But what a beautiful scene. Got a playground here for the kids just outside of this restaurant. It looks like actually some exercise equipment or something there too. Look at these two beauties. Just living their best life. This is all just flowing down off the mountain here. So we did want to cover the restroom situation, but before that, I wanted to point out that there's tour buses and parking here. So there must be another main road that you can utilize to come in that's not that lane we walked down, which is nice because then you avoid all that traffic noise. Men's side wasn't the best. There's a few urinals and the stalls were pretty nasty. There was like tiles falling from the ceiling and crap everywhere. Rachel had an even worse experience.
So the women's side, so it's a hole in the ground type situation, which is fine. Just be prepared to squat. No toilet paper, so as always, bring some paper with you no matter where you go. But it's, you know, it's not great in there. Bring your sanitizer, bring your own toilet paper, and your cojones with you because there's lots of spiders everywhere, good webs, and the hygiene isn't so great. There's no trash cans in there, so there's like used feminine products kind of just stashed in corners and stuff. Right. It's not great, but it's, you know, it's
We'll be prepared for sure. Very beautiful pasture here. I'd go a bit closer and get a closer view of these sheep, but you see this guy here. One thing you don't want to do is approach a flock of sheep too closely because the dogs are trained to protect them and they'll certainly act aggressively towards you. But just a very beautiful scene here. We're all just out there grazing, having a good old day.
Happy little sheep.
Happy little sheep. Happy wool comes from happy sheep. Alright, we basically came full circle in the park along this little trail here back to the shade ramada as I was pointing out, but I just wanted to show you there's actually a really nice little spot here to come have some lunch. One thing I did want to cover before we left, minus the bathroom situation, the park is actually incredibly clean and there are trash cans all over as you go. I don't think we saw another bathroom, so...
Not as of yet, no.
Right, but there's these shade ramada picnic areas, and there's actually benches everywhere as you go along, so there's going to be plenty of spots for you to sit and rest. Like I said, the grounds are very clean. There's plenty of space, so even on a very populated day, you're going to be able to get away and maybe sit in the grass somewhere, or sit at one of these tables if you can find an empty one and have some lunch. But thanks for coming along. We just wanted to give you a quick overview of this park. It's very lovely. I'm sure early in the season it's, you know, more flowers, or later in the season it's less flowers or whatever, but here in the spring it's very lovely. Thanks for coming along and watching our video. Stay safe and stay sane.